Hello, I'm on holiday, or at least I will be as soon as I've finished this recording. This is the time of year when Jill and I love to be in the Alps doing something which we really enjoy, which is skiing. This year it's not possible, but rather than put the holiday in the bank and hope to claim it later in the year, a mistake we made last year, we're going to have a holiday at home here in Blackburn. A town that I love dearly, but I have to admit isn't a major tourist destination. At times like this, it's possible to feel a little bit sorry for ourselves, give in to a bit of self-pity. But in preparation for our lockdown at home, I've been reading a fascinating book, first published in 1648. It's called The Rare Jewel of Christian Contentment. And in it, Jeremiah Burroughs writes, "Christian contentment is that sweet, inward, quiet, gracious frame of spirit which freely submits to and delights in God's wise and fatherly disposal in every condition." In other words, the secret of contentment is found in recognizing that God is watching over us wherever we are, and that whatever stuff happens to us, God can use it in some way for our good. I've learnt over the years that rather than asking the why question, why has this happened to me, it's far more profitable to ask the what question. What can I learn through this? Lord, what do you want to teach me through this? Contentment grows when we learn to give thanks in all circumstances, whatever's going on around us. And contentment also grows when we learn to accept those circumstances rather than bemoaning them. Much discontent in the world comes about because people either are unhappy with their circumstances or they wish other people weren't there. Life would be so much better if I moved to that house or had that job, or if only that colleague would get another job and move away. St. Benedict had quite a bit to say about that in his monastic rule. He warns monks against grumbling above everything and teaches that contentment is to be found in the virtue of stabilitas. We translate that word as stability, and the point Benedict is making is that a monk is called to stay in one place. He isn't going anywhere. Contentment comes when we learn to accept that God has placed us where we are for a reason. And also when we learn to accept that the people around us aren't going anywhere either. So we might as well learn to accept our surroundings and really work at getting on with those around us, rather than wishing them somewhere else. St. Paul's letter to the Philippians was written in lockdown, not in the comfort of his own home, but in a damp, dark Roman dungeon. And yet that letter is full of joy, because Paul has discovered that he's not alone, that Christ is with him in lockdown, and that his strength is enough for any situation. He writes, "I have learnt to be content, whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learnt the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do everything through him who gives me strength." I'm looking forward to my week off in lockdown Blackburn, and I have a prayer that this simple break will help me to rediscover that rare jewel of Christian contentment.